growing up on the farm and doing the work on the farm, I vowed that I would never have anything to do with agriculture after high school. I didn't want to be involved at all. During March of my senior year in high school, my father was murdered, and he was murdered by a white farmer who was never prosecuted because the grand jury was all white and they refused to indict him. So I made a commitment on the night of my father's death that I would not leave the South. I would give up my dreams of living in the North. I would not leave the South, and I would devote my life to working for change. So that started initially with the civil rights movement. My husband was one of the founding members of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. And so the work has actually gone on from 1961, initially on the SNCC and then on its on. So I was one of the founding members of the Southwest Georgia Project.
I'm from here. This is my home. I was born and raised in Albany, Georgia. Agriculture has historically been the economic boom here in the region. And I believe food is the answer to the disparities that communities of color are experiencing. And I believe that that's something that we can change in a generation. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time to begin to make those changes. So I tie food into economics. So if you have farm and farmland, you can make money. I see food as an avenue to go from one place to the next. So it's been something that first started as health, and then it's becomes a whole, well-being, a way of life here, especially in Southwest Georgia.
Helping to educate people, helping to empower people, that's our work. If you're going to work in organizing in communities in the rural areas, you have to work with people who farm, who own land, who struggle out there in those areas every day. So you start looking at what can you do to help improve the situations that they are facing. Land loss for Black people was a major issue.
Our work with farmers, specifically Black farmers or minority farmers, is making sure that they are around for us tomorrow. Historically, Black farmers have not had the same opportunities that white farmers have had. So bringing them up to speed so they can catch up and compete.
If we could get farmers to really see the power that they have in terms of the land ownership they have, the possibility for making that land actually work for them, their families in the area. God, it would be awesome. But pulling them together, helping them to see what they can do. Not wait for someone else to come in to do it for them, but what they can do to bring change. At this age, I still enjoy the work, but I know that it's time for me to move out of the way and let some young people come on and really use the skills. They have many more skills than we have. They have these computers when we had typewriters, So being able to use the skills that they have at this point to move the area forward.
It's so important to learn from the experiences that people like Ms. Sherrod have gone through, and then to be able to apply it with the technology and the energy that we have. I mean, that's gold. And the value in that, if you have the opportunity to find somebody like a Ms. Shirley Sherrod to mentor you, you should take it. Because to hear the stories of what she's gone through, and for her to guide you, she'll say, Amber, I've been here before. Slow down or push forward.
Good leadership is when I'm willing to step up when it's necessary, but also step back when it's necessary. And understand that I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to work at it to help us develop the answers. I don't know it all. And don't even try to know it all. And you know, I had a real problem thinking of myself as a leader for years. I just thought that leadership meant you got this person who's always stepping up there and talking, whether they were talking about anything of value or not. I didn't want to be seen as that. I just wanted to be seen as someone who's among the people helping to develop what we need. But there were so many who took me under their wings and really served as my support when things were going bad. I could call and cry on their shoulders because it looks like nothing's working. Or I could call and get some help to move to the next step with something. When I became a Kellogg Fellow, putting me into that group of people, and then the things we did for 3 years really helped me to grow. So when I find young people who are really into this work, then I try my best to try to help them get into situations like that, because it really does help with the growth. And this work is not easy, working in the rural areas. You need that. You really need that as you develop as a leader.
To me, leadership is being willing to do exactly what you would ask of anybody else to do. So they know that this person didn't tell me to do something that they wouldn't. And to build a level of trust with the people in your communities, and they know you, and no matter what's happening, they know they can come back to you for good grounding. They can come back to you for words of encouragement and resources to get whatever job is at hand done.